y'all. Back in the sauna again. It's a common thing I like to do for myself, and I just felt like making another video just to kind of maybe talk about some other ideas that are linked in pretty fluidly to health and how you navigate each day. I kind of was thinking about emotions and the lymphatic system, right? So I want to tie this into the sauna very nicely because you know, the sauna is a physical practice that you can do. You can have a set point in your day to show some self-care and to create some time for yourself, creating space in your life to do something healthy for yourself, which is a very important thing psychologically, you know, to show that you are valuing yourself, right? And orient onto your core values, right? You're showing that you value yourself. And then from that space, you can nurture yourself. So just it's a physical thing. So I'm tying everything back into the sauna because this is a hard, real place, right? And emotions, you can't hold them, but they are very powerful and they're very real. And I think we need to understand a lot of things better. In my videos and information I spread, I love to remind people, rethink reality, reform the minds about, you know, looking at life, taking a different look and seeing how, you know, we're one-dimensional and we want to expand our one-dimensionality or our one-track thought, superficial layer of life, and to rethink into multi-dimensional. Holistic is another word, multi-dimensional, you know, aspects of how we can unify everything, because nothing lives in isolation. Everything needs to work together. And if we have any disharmony, it's because parts are warring with themselves. And of course, to fix anything internally is what we want to do, because we don't want any internal warring inside of ourselves. So let's unify ourselves, become whole unto ourselves, and then we're a whole force of coherence and love and life that's unified, and it can travel through the world as a sensible tool to radiate our awareness and our sanity and our wisdom out to others, right? So this is all about bringing it back, going inward, going deeper, and then, you know, some tangible lifestyles that you can apply and tools that you can use. So emotions, everybody experiences them, and they're powerful if we can learn to help work with them and understand them and help flow them. If they're blocked, help them release, you know. Powerful. So, okay, emotions, everything, right? Why am I in the sauna? What does the lymphatic system have to do with emotions? Well, from my experience and a lot of research too, you know, our emotions are super connected to our body, and any emotional repression or unawareness is going to back up your organ health. So if you're, especially guys, right, and women too, that are kind of over emotional in the sense that they're not grounded and they're letting the emotional body whip them around. See, men might have a tendency to kind of just suppress their emotions and ignore, and women do too. So, you know, it's just different patterns, but you have to observe the emotions by stepping back, letting them be, not resisting them, and then from your powerful place of observance, you can let them flow and they'll reduce their charge because you're not feeding them, because you're not directly identifying with them, right? You're far more than your emotions, and once you realize that, then you have the place to lovingly maneuver and guide and form what you need to form through your creativity, your co-creational abilities of understanding you as spirit, as essence, and as the driver of the physical body. So your lymphatic system is very intertwined with emotions. Your emotions, if they're plugged up, if they're on an unhealthy loop and they're feeding them, they will wreak havoc through your nervous system, and they will affect your organs, right? That stress of emotions, unbalanced emotional states, or unresolved emotions are just tied into life, right? Every aspect of life, every event has an emotional component, a mental component, a physical component, the spiritual dimension, and you want to understand how to be behind all of that, observing and letting it be what it is, and then from your space of power, you can move it around, right? You're a co-creator. You're not just letting life steamroll you, right? You're standing very strong, but you are not, again, identifying with things, over-identifying with things, right? You have emotions, but you're far greater than that. Just like you have thoughts, and you're far greater than that. Just like you have a body, and it's a beautiful body, and you're a beautiful person, but you're far greater than just your body. And once you realize that, it's amazing, because you get to share a lot with yourself and with others. So the lymphatic system and emotions seem to be very connected. Same as your nervous system. If you take care of your physical systems, the master systems, the nervous system, the lymphatic system, it shows that you also have a ripple effect, because you can sense a release of, you feel better mentally, you feel better emotionally. Why do we feel better when we do things holistically? Why does it also ripple from the physical body to emotional body to mental body? And why does it all of a sudden bring on this onset of this spiritual dimension that people talk about, right? And so the lymphatic system holds a lot of emotions. I mean, your body is unknowable. Science has all these definitions that, again, we need to rethink reality, remind ourselves, reform the mind, right, to a different perception, right? And so your body stores information, right? Motor engrams or subconscious movement patterns. We have the subconscious mind of psychological thoughts and emotions that circle through, right? Your cells actually program themselves off of the consistent chemistry that you're making, which is tied into emotions and thoughts, right? Neurotransmitters, and then also the food you eat can change your emotional mood, right? It's very, very, very well researched, all of these things. So the lymphatic system is 2 times, maybe 3 times bigger than your cardiovascular. It's a huge fluid system, so we have to move, right? And so there's different ways to stimulate your lymphatic system, and in the sauna is an amazing one to do it. So I'll talk about a simple thing called gua sha, right? And this is just a gua sha tool. I love this one, right? It's a fishtail, and there's different shapes and different varieties of these tools, different stones. This is a jade stone. But basically, it is going to help me access my primary lymphatic zones that I want to stimulate. And through motion, you clear it, right? Like a sports massage, right? Like deep breathing, it moves internal physical things in your body that dislodge toxins and help systems do what they need to do. We've all been in a traffic jam in cities before. If you don't take care of your health, your body gets backed up. What's atherosclerosis, right? It's just the buildup, right? Your lymphatic system is bigger than your cardiovascular system, and it gets a buildup. Why do lymph nodes get all plugged and nasty, right? And we know that your immune system is partially created in your lymphatic system, production of the white blood cells and stuff, and also it's the transport system, because it connects every cell of your body. Basically that's how you get rid of cellular metabolic waste. And again, the lymphs are very powerful. So another thing I want to say is there's a lot of people that have gotten lymphs everywhere, right? Lymphs everywhere. There's some cool lymphs that were just discovered by Western science down the brain, but again, Eastern science has known that. The lymphatics, sagittal sinus, brain lymphatics, right? They clean your brain every time you sleep. 3 pounds of toxic sludge every year, brain plaque, get it out. Brain sand, get it out. And Western science didn't know it, but again, Ayurveda and certain other, Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, they know these things, man. They know that, the meridians in the body runs energy, and that the physicality is built off of energy. So a lot of people have gotten deep tissue massages, and the person that they're with is hitting a spot, and they start to cry. They let emotions come because of trigger points, right? The emotions are very powerful with the mind and the body, and you can use the mind and the body to go back into those emotional states when you start to gain control of them. And you can only gain control by stepping back from them and learning that you're far more. You are an integrated flow of everything, right? You are one, right? I'm not just my little pinky, I am me, right? So that's how a lot of people are living. They think they're a very small part. They think they're just the physical body. They think every thought that goes through their brain is true, and they live their reality based off that, and they let the emotions that come through unchecked, and that they let them pull them into this perception. So we gotta, again, step back, and that's a whole nother talk. But if you wanna help yourself, organize and get some space to be, cleaning the physical body is important. Otherwise the brain can't connect, it can't unify the hemispheres. You can't ever get everything in concert, and then it's all of a sudden same thing down here. So as above, so below. It's a two-way street as well. Clean the body and clean the mind, and there's protocols. So cleaning the lymphatic system is super powerful. And again, if you stimulate this, it gets the emotions moving, guys. It really does. When I come in the sauna, it gives me space to process things. I handle a lot of people and energy, and like I don't handle them like a negative way. I'm interacting with them and living and sharing and caring and breathing and learning and growing and healing myself, and then also sharing what I have with others. And you know, we pour our water into each other's glasses, so to speak, pretty often, and you have to go through your own filtration system to get some you time to come back to your personal signature, your personal feel of self, right? There are ideas that hop from mind to mind that are like mind viruses. They're called memes, and they form schemoplexes, right? Big psychological study there you can research. And there's also emotional waves that are real. You felt someone's emotions and it's coming to your body, and you have to know yourself strong enough to observe what is. And of course, if it's a harmonious emotion, you're just loving it, they're feeding you. But if you're in a dense situation, you cannot succumb to the density. You have to remember who you are, right? So I come in here a lot to breathe, to be, to return the love essence to myself, to return my presence, right? To let my brain get space, to slow the thoughts down, and to let my emotions clear out. So I'm pretty sensitive to certain things, and when I'm in here, after I do a good sauna session without any other therapies, because again, you can add stuff for integrated therapeutic effect. Just the sauna alone, and sweating and pushing out nasty waters which hold weird chemicals that also have electromagnetic bonds in your body, which is weird and organic. It feels uncomfortable to your cellular body. Be around a computer for a while. If you're sensitive, it's gonna throw you off. You're not gonna feel, you know, good and in flow and in sync. You're gonna be constricted and like abnormal almost, right? So organic state, help everything balance back. And so even just coming into the sauna by myself, giving myself the love time, and again, the biology, let my body do what it needs to do. Good sleep and nutrition and hydration and good therapies, a good environment, which is the helping of the stimulus to signal internal changes, right? I want to stimulate my changes internally and help my internal environment grow. Right, we've all cutting into the fruit and it's been nasty on the inside. No matter how good it looked on the outside, you want good internal, and that's the last thing you see most often. So coming back into, right? And I know this is a plastic bottle. I'm not a big fan of plastic and heat, but it's down low, it's cooler, and it's BPA free, and I've been recycling them, and I haven't tasted or noticed any leaks, and I've done some research, and it seems to be all right. You know, I'm not tasting any plastic, but glass is the best. I used to have glass, and I still do, but I've just been carrying bottles. So if I change, you know, it's because I could really feel difference, and information's information. So, you know, just be wary of your plastic. Make sure you're at least getting BPA free. All right, so this sauna's kicking my booty right now. Hard to breathe and to coordinate the rhythm of my voice, my breath, my mind, my body integrity. My internal systems are like, whoa, this is a challenging terrain. Just like when you pick up weights and you're not used to it, you're like, damn, like, not used to this. So I'm creating a good stressor, a eustress, right? This isn't distress because I'm not gonna push myself out of my limits, but it's a eustress, so it's forcing me to grow. I was at 100 and it's like 158, but it feels way hotter. Every day's a little different. And I've probably been going for about 30 minutes now. It took me 5 minutes to river sweat. All right, so I'm giving you ideas to hopefully stimulate and get things moving because it's a big story. And again, you know, we can't underplay the body or who you are. It is very complex, but at the same time, we have to have a foundation of simplicity. So come back to the basics, get those solid and locked in, and then expand upon what you feel drawn to. We're all being guided. Once we get our inner self, we get connected inward, we can get that vertical, clear internal compass. We all have a North Star, and it's accessed by going inward and upward, right? So lymphatics, body emotions, your cells remember the emotions that you go through. There's wonderful research out there saying that, you know, the microbiology, which is 90% of who you are, in your gut, right? Which is making most of your immune system, which produces most of your body chemistry to do what it needs to do to recreate itself. Those microbes are sentient and aware. They are in an external environment, which is your internal environment, and they feel everything on the outside, and they're also trying to maintain their agenda of who they are aligned with on the inside, and they feel our emotions, guys. It's been proven, you know, science has proven it. So everything in your microbiology in your gut wall, which is again the staple of your health, feels what you're going through, and it thinks with you too. And there's certain things that think for you, and some of those things aren't your best friends. You know, it gets wild, but it's very cool when you understand it, because you can control and tame them, right? You can control and guide how your body's gonna grow, right? If I want to grow an orange tree or an avocado tree, I put that seed in the soil. So learn what you're eating, learn what you're thinking, learn what you're feeling, and guide yourself to plant what you want in your soil of yourself, which of course can only be seen and done effectively from an integrated approach, stepping back from thoughts, emotions, and the body, and addressing things that work holistically through the whole thing, unified, integral spaces. All right. So if your lymphatic system gets plugged, your emotions are going to be rocked up, right? Your mind is going to be jacked up, right? And we've seen bodies. We know it's healthy. We know it's not. And sometimes we don't even know it's not healthy, and we think what's healthy is healthy. But come back to your state of being. Ask yourself, am I happy? Right in the mirror. You can even get naked in front of the mirror to really test yourself. Look at yourself non-judgmentally and ask, am I happy? Am I loving myself? And see what comes about. Everybody is nobody's victim. There's no victims or victimizers, but everybody subjects themselves because of their current level of unconsciousness to suboptimal patterns of the mind, the emotions, and the body, and trained via lifestyle and society, which is a lot of people doing things unconsciously, and nobody's critically thinking and checking in and saying, what's up? Are we doing the right thing? And if you live and dirty the body and fill the mind with crud and get emotionally overloaded, you're going to become numb, and you won't feel things like how computers blast your energy fields, how you're stuck in this mental loop, and how your emotions are being suppressed because you have coded yourself to be keyed externally as a primary reference point. And you have authority outside when you should have internal awareness. Bring yourself back to you and reclaim yourself as the internal authority that you are, right? And as you do that, you inwardly focus in a very important way. You return to yourself. It's not selfish. It's filling your own cup so you have plenty to give to everybody, right? And that's the thing, because a lot of people give and they're not grounded in themselves, and the intention is beautiful and you got to give the hearts out to these people, but we want to really have a long-term effect and a good found understanding, a good sound understanding of who we are, right? We want to emanate beauty from a feeling and a state of being first, right? And the thoughts and emotions match that state of being, because state of being supersedes everything else. If you can access your still point presence, stepping back from thoughts, emotions, and the body, you can access your power. You can reprogram things. It's super, super common knowledge out there if you apply it the right way to reprogram the subconscious. You got the unconscious, the non-conscious. There's all these different words, but it's all right. Keep it simple. Return to the breath. Find your stillness. I'll give you a little metaphor real quick before I explain some of this, because I'm getting rocked right now. The ancient Eastern wisdom, I think it's Chinese or something, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's experienced it. If you're in the water and you stir it up, the mud comes up, and you're looking and you can't see anything. You're trying to see yourself. You're trying to get clarity, a healthy mirroring of, okay, what's reality like? Who am I, right? Who are you? Who am I? And so you stir the water up and it gets all muddy and mucky. Give it time. Create the stillness, which you have to actually exit psychological time. Research Eckhart Tolle or Dr. Joe Dispenza. Unplug from the perceptions of time. Very, very tangible science out there, guys and girls. And you give it time and everything settles. And now you're looking at still water. Everything's at the bottom, clear reflection. There I am. I am. Okay. So give it time. Detach from the mind. Breathe. Follow the breath. Alright. Video overheated, so I got you guys again. So basically, you have to step beyond the mind and the emotions, beyond the body, and you will get your power zone activated, right? Your cells live in what we call a state of being, your state of being, how you perceive the world every day. And if you can learn how to access your state of being by stepping beyond all the things people are over-identifying with, then you can come into your I am presence, which is just I am, nothing else attached to it. Pure presence, consciousness, the observer, the witness, where your power is in the eternal now moment. And your cells, when you enter that state consciously, right, it's a form of deep meditation if you use meditation to access it, but it's just a lifestyle you can entrain into. You know, people are practicing it, right? And it's a challenging thing in many ways, but at the same time, there's a lot of sickness on the planet, and, you know, we've been pretty unconscious, so of course we have a little bit to climb at least, right? So help your body out. If you get the body clean, it'll help holistically unify you so you can think and feel better. And of course, you're gonna interface with the energetic realities way better, okay? So just a quick thing into the lymph system so you know what I'm talking about, because I've only mentioned it as a conceptual idea, right? We have it, it's all over our body, right? 2/3 bigger than, you know, lymphatic, 2 times bigger than lymphatic, than cardiovascular, right? Maybe 3. Anyway, travels through armpit, huge zone, travels down under the pec tissue, wrapping through to deep under, right under the breast tissue, other armpit zone, spirals up through the neck, both sides, through the jaw, right? These are just main ones. The lymphatics down the main highway of the brain, sagittal sinus. Again, do the whole skull while you're at it. You're soft here, which I'm going to add to in a second. You got a big cistern in your back of lymphatic, right, where the shoulder blades meet, and you got another huge one at your lower back, right? A huge gut wall bacteria in there, and lymphatic lacteals, I think the mesentery organ, which is a new organ, research that, stimulate that visceral massage. You can get the lymph moving right in the hip sockets, the hip flexor zone, right in the pelvis, right? And obviously just like all different compartments down the legs, guys. It's a pretty inclusive system, and if you manually stimulate it, you will help flow. And Eastern medicine knew if there's any blockages, you have to unblock it so health can flow, because health is your natural state of being, just as sentient I am consciousness is, and from there you go and create anything you want. You don't want to be stuck in something trying to work back into I am consciousness. That's the distortion, but that's what people are calling normal. So we need to re-educate, rethink reality, as Dr. Kassar says, and many others, you know, just so many others. I'm gonna link them in all the videos and, you know, express my gratitude to them, because they're here to help all of us, and they're on their own journey. So just take the information out there, see if it applies to you, and if it's has efficacy and it's integrating everything, no isolation in the sense that we want to bring everything together. If something's super sick, isolate it for a little bit, maybe more physical body, like, you know, PT stuff, but then you got to reintegrate it. Most people never reintegrate anything that's been compartmentalized, and you have to reintegrate the compartmentalization so you have the unity of the whole. Again, a flower is a flower because it's a flower. We don't just look at the flower and see the stem or see the roots or see the beautiful petals. We see it in its wholeness, and we see everything that makes it a flower. Otherwise it would just be a stem, which is still not even a stem, or the roots. So system soft, you've made it soft like a potter pressing into hard clay. It ain't gonna work, guys. A lot of our bodies have been crystallized for years. Poor posture, you know, weird sclerosis in the body, weird inorganic buildups. You gotta detox, get the heavy metals out, you gotta get the plastics out, right? You gotta do a lot of interesting things. And again, find the healthy stuff that's holistic, and it'll bring you into simplicity so you're not overwhelmed by your mind, because you need to use the mind for its purpose, but you have to unplug and then have a state of being to cultivate the best experience that's going to guide you through your transformation. You cannot transform with the mind alone. Most people are trying to solve problems with the mind or the emotions or the body from the level of the mind, the emotions, the body alone. And you cannot solve a problem from the level of consciousness that created it. You must go within and raise through and expand to integrate everything. So body's soft right now. The sun is cooking me. I'm getting my butt whooped and I feel great, but it's a healthy challenge. You stress, which is good. You got all the lymph through there. And you can go, and you don't have to do lymph. You can do muscles, guys. Test it out. See if you can handle muscles. A lot of people have oxalate poisoning, right? Just weird things beat up in there. And you got to be able to go through, right? Fast is easier, slower is harder, right? There's a lot of techniques. I don't want to go through it, but I want to show you guys that people do this, right? This isn't random, right? There's Eastern culture. They do this a lot. They have different therapies, and just because it's not on TV doesn't mean that people don't do it, right? People think that whatever's on TV is the truth, and whatever, you know, we read or hear outside is weird when it's so different. But look how sick we are. We have all this information, but we're so sick. A lot of people so plugged up right here, right? Go in there. Can you hear that? Crushing through. I'm putting a lot of pressure in, guys. I'm not a weak dude, and I'm crushing it through, right? I couldn't do that at first. I actually turned black or blue and bruised, ecchymosis, which is healthy, but you want to induce a healthy healing stimulus, and you don't want to push into a healing crisis. There's ways to do that in body therapies, another video. Most people actually wait for a life crisis, midlife crisis, health crisis, whatever. Then they make the changes because the consciousness came up and gave you pain, and you didn't understand it for all the years you repressed it. And now all of a sudden you're like, I have to change. Excuse me. I have to change because life is, I want to live. Everything wants to live. It's true. It's an impetus. And you do too, because you're joy and health and happiness, and you came here to be yourself, which is super spiritual because that's going to help everybody else. But you came here to be yourself first, and then through an effortless state of being, you're going to help everybody else rise up and be their dreams, guys, and they're going to live authentically. And we're not in competition, you know, we are harmonious, we live together. It's scientifically proven that our bodies are connected energetically, and we got to first get ourselves right, and then from there we can have some wisdom to spread to others. All right, you guys, I'm getting worked, I'm getting cooked. I'm here because I'm loving y'all, and I want to share what I got with y'all. And so I'm going to give you everything I got every time I got it, because I love you, because I love myself, because I see how we're all connected. All right, I love you. Enjoy it. Have a good day. Connect with your I am presence. Step beyond the emotions. And if you can find a way to balance out your body, for goodness sakes, give your body some love. All right, I love you guys. Be easy.